February is Early Ed Month, and it is a designation by Governor Jeff Landry to call attention across Louisiana to the importance of early childhood education and its benefits to all Louisianians. And joining me now, we have our in-house expert, Dr. Libbie Sonnier. She is CEO of Louisiana Policy Institute for Children. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks so much for having me.
So let's start by explaining the mission of your organization.
Sure. So the Louisiana Policy Institute for Children is a nonpartisan, a nonprofit squarely focused on children birth to age 4 in our state. And what we fundamentally believe is that a stronger Louisiana starts with successful children.
So tell me how this idea of Early Ed Month came about.
Sure. So our founders started Early Ed Week back in 2017. And then as things have come along and we've been able to garner more and more funding, and really our business community and our elected officials to really understand the importance of early care and education, we transited from a week now to a month. And so this is our 4th year as a month. And it's really an opportunity for our elected officials and our business leaders to see why early education fundamentally is an economic development issue as well as a workforce issue. And if we want to set our children onto a successful trajectory, it starts when they're young.
So what is the messaging this month?
So the messaging is that if we want a labor participation rate to be where we want it to be, we have to invest in early care and education. So much so that the Louisiana Association for Business and Industry, as we all call it, LSWI, our state chamber, is co-hosting the month with us. And so it's really about the importance of Louisiana education and early childhood education to our economic backbone and our workforce and our economy in the state.
So let's break that down. Sure. Where is there room for improvement?
Well, there's a lot of room for improvement. We know through research that we've done at the Louisiana Policy Institute for Children that we lose approximately $1.3 billion annually due to child care breakdowns. And what does that mean? That means that we don't have a reliable workforce. It means that parents are having to miss work because they don't have access to quality early care and education. It also means that our Louisiana businesses are losing approximately $762 million annually themselves. And so this isn't small potatoes. This is big money to a state that we are rich in culture, but we are finite in resources, and we can't afford to lose that money. And so we really need to ensure that our working parents and our parents that are going to school have access to quality early childhood education.
So at the policy level, what can the state do? So
the state's done a lot of things over the last few years. They've invested heavily in early childhood education. We went from 0 state dollars to up to $77 million in the last 6 years. And so there's been increased investment in early education. What we've also done at the state level is create an early childhood education fund, which is increasingly important because that fund, if there's $1 in that fund and a local raises $1, there's a dollar for dollar match. And we have to really engage our business leaders in it because at the end of the day, it's not just all of the federal government's responsibility or the state or the local government or the families. We have to share responsibility to ensure that we do have a successful Louisiana that starts with our children.
So that brings me to the obvious question, what can businesses do? What role do they have to play?
The businesses really have a unique opportunity because we're always having discussions with our business leaders across the state about how do we retain and really recruit talent into the state. And the very talent we need are the people that are having young children. We're really fortunate at the state level. We have a school readiness tax credit that allows businesses to donate a certain amount and get a portion of that back. We need more businesses to be able to donate for a child care seat. And so we're thinking about creative ways with our Secretary of Workforce, with our governor's office, with our Department of Education, and with LED about how do we make this critical infrastructure investment across the spectrum.
Where does Louisiana rank on the metrics as they pertain to early education?
Well, I have some good news. We are in the top 20 in the country related to accountability. So one of the things we continually are asked is how do we know our public dollars are going after good when they're public dollars to go after? And so in Louisiana, our accountability system for early childhood education, again, is in the top 20 in the country. And that's because we've done a lot of good things. We've unified where early education is within our state. It's within our Department of Education, which makes a lot of sense because it's education. We've unified the credentials for our early educators. We've unified curriculum and early learning development standards. We have done a lot of really, really good things, and we're heralded with how we've set up our early childhood education fund.
Dr. Libbie Sonnier, thank you so much for coming to the studios to share your message, and of course, we are happy to share the message of Early Ed Month, the month of February, with our viewers as well.
Thank you so much.